What's good, y'all? It's your boy jthewei here again. This is probably going to be one of the most important videos you will ever watch. And the reason being is, on this channel, I talk about self-improvement, being the best version of yourself. And as you become more successful, it is going to be very easy to get ahead of yourself, be prideful of what you've accomplished, and think that you've done a lot. What I'm talking about here is why some people fall off the map or road of success. Is because when they see things going on for them, they think they're the shit and they don't have to work anymore. Well, I'm here to tell you different. It's important to be humble. Now, I came up with 6 reasons why it is important to be humble. The first one is nobody likes an arrogant jackass show off. And let me tell you something, that is the biggest way you can turn people off or lose your friends, is by acting like a show off or that you're better than people. Guys, act like you've been there before. When LeBron James scores 25 points in a game, do I see him go out tweeting to everybody, I scored 25 points in the game? No, because it's normal to him. Normalcy breeds numbness. The moment you become an arrogant show off, it just shows where you truly at. If you gotta talk about being at a certain level, what that tells me and everybody else is that you're not accustomed to being at that level. There's a saying, the empty barrels make the loudest noise, and the smallest dog is always the one that barks the loudest. So guys, just act like it's normal to you, like you've been there before. Don't make such a big deal out of it, telling everybody and being a show off, acting like you're better than people, because that's the #1 way you repel people. The second reason is hard times are coming. Do not get complacent. We saw what happened back in the beginning of 2020. The coronavirus pandemic started. The perfect example of this was my friends who majored in chemical engineering. I'm not trying to shit on y'all. If y'all watching this, I'm just being honest. I'm just trying to help y'all. The ones that didn't have like that good of a resume, but had barely enough of a GPA to scrape by and didn't have experience, it was tough for them to get a job. Before the virus started happening, it's easy to say, oh, we're just gonna graduate and get a job. But that virus came out of nowhere, killed the entire economy. And lots of my friends and classmates spent months without a job because they didn't have credentials. There's other people who had internships that were lined up, but they were canceled. It's easy to slack off when you've signed an offer letter to say you're doing an internship, but you have to tell yourself there's always has to be a plan B. You have to be humble enough to have a plan B in mind, because not everything is going to go your way. You have to be willing to work hard enough to create a plan B. Or you have to be willing to work hard enough to get your resume to really good points to where if you lose a job, you still be able to find one because you have a good resume. That requires hard work. Don't get ahead of yourself and say you don't gotta do no more work anymore because you at a good place. You also never know what is not going to be in demand anymore in the future. I'd be crazy if I told you 20 years from now, YouTube would still be popping. I mean, if I gain more subscribers, but YouTube ain't popping anymore, my channel is gonna fall down. Look what happened to petroleum engineers. The coronavirus absolutely killed the oil and gas industry. And I know people who majored in petroleum engineering that can't find a job now. When I first started college, back in like 2016, 2015, when my friends did petroleum, it was the hottest thing in the market. And it's very easy to get ahead of yourself and say, I'm set for the rest of my life. No, you ain't. Times change. You have to be humble enough to have different plans and to realize that hard times are gonna come. You never know when you might break up with your girl, or you might have a death of a family member and that throws you off track. Next, remember where you came from. Like when I said in my thank you for 2,000 subscribers video, I said that I'm the same guy from DC that loves what I love to do. I like playing tennis, basketball, I love the piano, love photography, I love coming on YouTube and giving advice. These are things that I love to do. As I climbed up the ladder of success, me graduating with a degree in chemical engineering, I'm still the same guy. I'm still the same guy that I've always been, except that I'm just further along in my career and I've built a bigger YouTube following than I have before. It don't make me God. It don't change me who I am at all. Without any of this, I'd be the exact same person. Remember where you came from. Remember the background that you came from, because that's where you're made out of. As you become more successful, that doesn't change you. You're still the same person you've always been. All these celebrities you see, they're all just normal people. The only thing that's different between them and us is that they found a way to monetize their passion and to make money off of it, or to build a following. That's it. It don't make them God. You don't have to worship people, because people at the end of the day are just people. I have my own flaws. Celebrities have their own flaws. We know different. Just because you were able to make a bigger following or to make more money with your real estate or whatever, it doesn't make you better than people. We still just people at the end of the day. Next, humble people understand how the world works. There's a saying by, I can't remember what the name of the physicist was, I'm going to put it here, but the more that you learn about the universe, the more you realize that you don't know. Back before Einstein and the theory of relativity, everybody thought all of physics was founded. We could do anything with the physical laws that we have until Einstein proved all the asses wrong with relativity. Newton's laws are technically actually wrong. As Einstein went through more through general relativity and special relativity, it only opened up more questions that we didn't know. When we get more answers, we get more questions. We don't understand how the universe works. There's string theory where it says there's like 13 dimensions. As I've gotten better in piano, I realize more and more how much I have to learn. When I first started learning piano, I thought it was just hitting a few keys. That could be farther from the truth. As I've been taking piano classes and being taught at a PhD level currently, I realize how little that I know. The next reason is I'm too busy of a person to be cocky about myself. At the time of this video, in my typical day, I'm either going to classes, hitting the gym, I'm studying for my classes, studying for piano, making YouTube videos, I'm traveling or doing my hobbies, playing tennis, playing basketball, and I also eat a very, very good diet, and I take care of myself and I'm in shape. And I simply don't have time to be cocky. I don't got enough time in a day to just sit in my damn bed, just telling myself, oh, I achieved this, I achieved that, and I'm so much better than people. I don't have time for that bullshit. What I'm too busy doing is thinking about how I can further build up my income, further be better in shape, further better my relationships, or further better my career. I don't have time to be cocky. I don't think Michael Jordan is just sitting in his bed all day playing with his damn balls thinking about how good he is. Michael Jordan is too busy being successful. Lastly, there's always somebody better than you. Unless you Michael Jordan the GOAT, there's always going to be somebody better than you, and there's always going to be competition. And taking the example of finding a job, you might have a really good resume, 3.9 GPA, got a lot of experience, but there might be someone with a 4.0 GPA and more experience than you, and that person might take your job. If you're trying to build your own business, you start a Vietnamese restaurant in a new place, there might be another better Vietnamese restaurant that opens up next door. You never know when it's coming. I don't care how far you get. There's always going to be more people better than you, and you're always going to have to keep your head down and continue working hard. Those who humble themselves will be exalted, and those who exalt themselves will be humbled. Whatever you're pursuing, and you think you're the shit at it, and you're good at it, and then when you meet somebody who's better than you, but you acted like you were so damn good, but that person is clearly miles ahead of you, you look fucking stupid. You're gonna get humbled. Those who get exalted are gonna be humbled. So don't make yourself look like a jackass. Stay humble. That's what people like. People like humble people. To be the best version of yourself, you're gonna have to make better relationships, and a part of doing that is by being humble. Alright guys, so those are my reasons why it's so important to stay humble. I know if you watching me, you wanna be successful and you wanna improve yourself, but as you go along, you're gonna start thinking that you the shit, and I know it's important to be confident. It's important to believe in yourself and to be confident in your abilities. But when I say be humble, is you have to understand that there is always more work that needs to be done, or anything in life can just hit you like a rock at any time, just like the pandemic. I'll see y'all in the next one. Jay the Way out.